Gang, the dashing gentleman that you see before you is Rob of Comics Explained, a channel on the platform that breaks down and goes over comic stories, just speaking via audio. I mean, he's a storyteller, does not particularly a story maker, but a storyteller. Recently, he came out with this video asking, why do people support President Trump? And it really harkened me back to a conversation that I had at the Black Lives Matter street painting, where there's just a whole bunch of low information voters out there who haven't been paying attention. Rightfully so. You're an American, live your life. But when it comes to the realm of the political, I think a lot of content creators are shooting above their are going beyond their capacity. I think that's a kind way to put it. So with that being said, let's get into this.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Rob, and I was going to make like a great big huge video out of this, but I feel like I don't really need to, right? In a previous video, I talked about the importance of creating a dialogue. I talked about how I wanted to start a dialogue between, myself, who's not really a Trump supporter, and people who are Trump supporters, because I think
Now, here's the thing, Rob, because he's saying how he isn't a Trump supporter, right? Why did it take you 4 years to decide to have these conversations? It's like the man's been in office for 4 years, and you've held on to a misunderstanding of the man's positions and what he's aimed to do over this entire span of time. I mean, come on, my guy. But if you want to talk about a main reason I myself have found myself in support of the president, is the other side, is the blue team. How hard they've gone on a lot of different issues and the tantrum that they've thrown over the past 4 years. It's been rather ugly, from a lot of um, uh, the Antifa, Black Lives Matter rhetoric, which has looted and rioted and destroyed cities, to the abortion laws that have been getting passed, particularly what took place in Virginia. I'm sorry, my guy, but even if I didn't want to support President Trump, I'm looking at the other side and seeing, like, yeah, I can't support that either. Right? I'm more comfortable supporting President Trump than I am the side that's doing the whole alphabetical binary critical theory train of thought, the zealotry, because on both sides, right, there's zealots on both sides, and on the right it is bombing abortion clinics and uh the Salem witch trials, and on the left it's been what we've seen the over the past several months in Portland, Seattle, and like, where just burn it all down, capitalism so evil. Meh. And what blows my mind in particular when it comes to the content creators is that you guys are benefactories of capitalism, yet the side that you find yourself on is so anti-capitalist that it would literally destroy your livelihood, friend.
the most important things to do is to not be dismissive. I think it's very easy to be dismissive of Trump supporters and just write them off as crazy people, and I think that's a problem, right? I mean, that's
Yes, it is a problem, because it blinds you to another way of thinking. No one's sitting here saying that everyone needs to agree, right? Except for, it seems, those on the left side right now. Like, if you don't agree with me, then screw you. And that's really how the quote unquote right has grown so exponentially over the past few years. Because hey, if you disagree with critical theory, if you disagree with the gender spectrum and the gender binary and everything else like that, then you are ostracized. Well, get on out. So it's not particular, and I hate to use this quote, but they've been saying a lot. Hey, I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me, and that's like the left has been busy kicking everybody and their mother out of the left. To whereas, hey, yeah, you just really got the crazies and the deeply marinated and those on the plantation, as covered yesterday in yesterday's video, that are left on the left.
Probably the worst thing you can do is say your views are different than mine, and they're so different from mine that you shouldn't be taken seriously in the first place, right? So, in order to do that, I'm going to ask a question, and I'm asking this question honestly and truthfully. I'm not trying to give you guys shit, not trying to bust your balls. But here's my question to Trump supporters. How is the United States better off now than it was before Donald Trump?
So the reorganization of the trade deals and a lot of the manufacturing that's come back and as well as is back on its way. Yeah, that's puts us in a better economic situation. It creates avenues for economic mobility where there are jobs where there once weren't. And one of the most important things that you can recognize, because I'm not sure where he lives or stays, but when it comes to your personal situation, you're always, and I mean this for Trump supporter, Biden supporter, right, left, green, blue, purple, the individual, you have to know, your local stuff. You have to know your local electeds, your councilmen, your mayors, your state reps, your governors and the like. That's where the main crux of your situation, of your I don't want to say experience. What's the word that I'm looking for? Your community. That's really where a lot of the back and forth and the real issues that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, that's where it comes from. It doesn't come from the federal level. As I was explaining to the gentleman that I talked to yesterday, and I've explained on this channel multiple times, there are 4 separate sets of government that are on top of you at all times. You got federal, state, county, local, right? So the job of each one is to actually defer to the next. So the reason President Trump didn't order a countrywide mask mandate is because he was deferring to the other to the other governors, the Whitmers and the Murphys, and it's been their actions, particularly the Cuomos, the Murphys, the Whitmers of the world. They've been their actions that have really that have handicapped your circumstance or community far more than President Trump has.
And not just you as an individual. I mean, the United States as a country. And I'm looking for some honest answers here, right? I mean, I'm not gonna ban people.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry about that. I kind of got into the whole thing with the individualism, because I do believe in individualism over groupthink. But First Step Act, that was really fantastic. He has a platinum plan, which I've gone over on the channel. There's been we like, as far as, oh my goodness, well, he's also racist, he's xenophobic, he's all of the boogeyman words that you've heard over the past few years. There's been more like 70, I think, on record, like 70% of the jobs and employment that have been created under his administration has gone towards women. There are tons of people of color all throughout his administration, including the Surgeon General, the current Surgeon General. So as far as the country goes, we've actually we've set a standard for quite a few places. Hungary. They like, everybody is really feeling the quote unquote masculine or the oats of order right now, because you either have chaos or you have order. And unfortunately, the opposite side has represented chaos and have gone out of their way to ostracize and exercise anyone who doesn't fully agree, which is why the red side, or the conservative side, seems to have as much steam and as much enthusiasm behind it as it does, and that's just because it's been far more inviting and welcoming.
As long as you're not a dick and you're just like, all the colors are getting shot by the cops. Yeah, that's exactly how it needs to be. As long as you're not saying something off the wall like that, it should be fine. But I'm looking for honest and truthful opinions. What's your view on this? How do you
So yeah, that was his question, and I think I've gone into enough depth as to why I support, the president and where he stands and all of this. And then if I wanted to break it down into three main things, it would be that the other side is completely loony. He himself hasn't been the dictator and the fascist that a lot of people, or proto-fascist. I heard that shit yesterday. He was like, "Oh, no, no," because I was explaining to the guy, right? I'm once again, this all draws me back to the conversation I had yesterday, and I'm explaining to the guy, if the CV, the pandemic, it presented a fantastic opportunity for Trump to be rather fascistic, but it wasn't him; it was the governors, and I think that's really where the largest disconnect comes in at, when dealing with individuals who aren't particularly that locked into politics, is that they hear the word government, and so they wrap it all together, when it's important to break that on down and recognize, hey, who's actually supposed to be doing what, right? And so and for the third, and as far as the third thing that I really like, and is the fact that, he's hilarious. President Trump is funny as hell, bro. Like, dude is too funny. He trolls, and honestly, to see other people get really like riled up when it's like, dude, like, take it easy. It is pretty funny. I'm not even gonna lie. I like shit posting to an extent. So, guys, with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like this, also like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? And the Electoral College. The gentleman that I was talking to yesterday, he's sitting there like, "Oh, we got to get rid of the Electoral College." I do my best to break it down like, wait, no, small states need their say. There's a reason it's been enacted. There's a reason we have an Electoral College, and you just can't win via popular vote, because the larger populated places that have been very, very manipulated thanks to our immigration system, will just like run over everybody else, and that's not fair. That's not, and isn't fairness one of the things that the country's been built on? And speaking of such, it isn't taking 3-4 years to ask, well, why do, or how could you actually support this guy? Like, that's not fair. That's not fair to people whose opinions, who have differing opinions than yours. But either ways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next one.